Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I'm hopping on here a couple minutes late, but we are on. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Hello, Rob. Okay, so I always do a prayer, but I'm just gonna go ahead and read a psalm for the prayer because this book is full of prayers and whatnot, and I've been definitely reading this one, and it's doing a lot for me. So thought I would share it with you guys. All right. So this will be Psalm 91 if anybody wants this for reference, but it's fire. So let's do it. All right, dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today humble. Lord, we come to you today to learn and to observe. Lord, we ask that you would lend us your ear to listen to this prayer of ours, Lord, that we'll read this psalm to you, God. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. For he will deliver us from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover us in his pinions, and under his wings we will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and a buckler. We will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 may fall at our side, 10,000 at our right hand, but it will not come near us. We will look only with our eyes and see the recompense of the wicked. Because we have made the Lord our dwelling place, the Most High, who is our refuge, no evil shall be allowed to befall us. No plague shall come near our tent, for he will command his angels concerning us to guard us in all our ways. On their hands they will bear us up, lest we strike our foot against a stone. We will tread on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the serpent we will trample underfoot. Because he holds steadfast to me in love, I will deliver him. I will protect him because he knows my name. When he calls to me, I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Amen. Okay. All right, guys. So basically, last week played out pretty well. What was our Sunday open right here? So price kind of just bounced, like literally up and around Sunday's open price. Um, and so it kind of just acted as like an axis for the week's move. But if we go to the weekly candle, and this is NASDAQ, by the way, we did end bearish this week. So I'll delete some of this. Or this is Dow Jones, excuse me. So Dow ended bearish and NASDAQ also ended bearish. But it also kind of did the same thing. It kind of just like bounced between Sunday's open. So it kind of did like here's the opening price, right? So it kind of did like an uptrend all week. So we had like a low, high, right? But the candle still ended bearish just because it like went back below by the time the candle closed from its opening price. But it did have like bullish structure this week, which is actually kind of interesting. Um, but let's go to analysis. I want to say option 2 played out. Um, Okay, so option one technically played out. It just didn't play out on the exact days that we had suggested. So price pushes lower then higher to retrace the bearish push that broke the 4-hour structure, then sells off the remainder of the week. So price did come lower in the first part of the week, and then it came back up to retrace this bearish push that broke 4-hour structure over here. And then once it hit that, which was also a daily order block that we talked about last week, the second it tapped that, it literally just sold off. Still keeping this bear or bullish structure right here. I mean, I guess you could consider this a break. Let's see, yeah. It didn't break this low right here. So that's kind of what happened on Dow, or I mean, excuse me, on NASDAQ. But the Dow Jones basically did the same thing, but they kind of like moved in the opposite way for most of the week, which is really interesting. Oh yeah. Okay, so Sunday's open was here and it came down and then pushed up. Wow, the NASDAQ pushed lower. And then it came back below Sunday opening and it was kind of just using it as like support for a while. Or excuse me, resistance. And let's just see what we wrote. Okay, so option one again is what seems to have played out. It pushed lower, then it came up here, sweeping last week's high, which I think was also a daily order block in here, and some like imbalances. And I think it was also the 78 is what I had on there. Yeah. Yeah. So pretty much to a T. So like open Sunday right here, pushed lower, and then swept last week's high, even all the way up to this imbalance. We didn't note that, but we did talk about it at the 88 here. And then it came back below Sunday's open. And then this is our Tuesday, and it kind of just bounced here, which I didn't expect. I expected it to bounce and then just sell off, but it kind of just came back up to retrace this break of structure over here, and then sold off again. Kind of showing us that it wants to start moving to the downside more, which we did talk about last week. So I would say our analysis played out pretty well. Maybe just not on the exact days that we were looking for. What is this? Oh, that's the dollar. That's so weird. So the dollar just kept its, where's our Sunday up here? Yeah, so the dollar just kept its bearish trend. I mean bullish trend. Why am I saying the wrong things today? That for now. So it just continued, it retraced in the beginning part of the week on Monday, and then it just pushed higher. And then it kind of just ranged for the rest of the week. So the high of the week was definitely on Wednesday. But it did continue to push towards this higher time frame high up here that we discussed last week as well. So next week we have 4th of July. I don't remember from last year if that makes the market slow or not. So Let's check the news though. So we have like regular news. But we have FOMC too, the day before 4th of July. That's super interesting. So I don't know, maybe the market is going to be really slow next week. And then it opens Friday pretty aggressively. That definitely could happen just because of the holiday. Yeah, like I said, I don't really remember the last year's 4th of July, what we did. I honestly want to say it moved pretty good and then it closed obviously on the 4th. But just keep that in mind. And let's see, we're starting a new month. That's crazy that we're halfway over with the year. One. Or actually, it's the 30th. To the 5th. I just have a good feeling about this second half of the year. Like this first half of the year was good, but I don't know. I just have a good feeling for like everybody in the group, and stuff like that. Okay. So the dollar. Technically, all right, first things first, we're gonna go check the higher time frame candles that are closing. They'll be closed by the time the market opens. So I'm gonna delete this. I think we're fine. I'm gonna delete this too, honestly. I don't think we need this anymore. I'm gonna leave that one. Okay. Where is okay, we'll go to that later. So this 6-month candle is closing. Obviously, it's a ginormous bullish order block. Okay, so that indicates to us, excuse me, that we're going to get some more bullish movement in the near future. Probably sooner rather than later. July. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at the 3-month. So this would be your quarterly candle right here. We're also getting a bullish closure on that one. I'm not going to fib that, but you could definitely fib this. Actually, let's just do it for the sake of it. Okay, so I have 2 bullish candles so far. And then this also there's going to be a 2-month candle closing, which to me, this looks like just a rejection candle. Okay. And then we're also going to look at the 1 month. So I just deleted that range, but you can see here that price, this is like a low, a high right here, a low right here, a high right here, and then it retraced with this candle. And what it appears to us right now, since we on that lower time frame it broke out bullish, that it looks like this is going to be the next higher low. But until this level gets broken by price, we can't officially declare that a low. So we can just anticipate it to be. But that 6-month bullish order block says a lot. And so if we go back to the 6-month chart, typically, like we talk about healthy price action, and the power of 3. If price is going to be bullish, it's going to move in the opposite direction first. At least it should at some point. So we want to see like a retracement on this candle. So here we have like the 50% and stuff like that. So we're going to keep an eye on these levels down here. So let's drop down to lower time frames and see where these levels are at. Yeah. So if this is going to make a new high, I'm just going to delete this one. Okay, see how right here, when we made a new high, price came down and retraced, and then now it's going up again. Like this. So if price makes a new high, then we want to see it retrace again. And so these levels right here on the 6-month candle are actually pretty accurate if I was to just also fib once this makes a new high, this price leg. Okay. So there's 2 ways that this retracement on that 6-month candle can play out. And we could either get like, who knows, maybe price wants to be finicky and it wants to actually just do this right now. And then it goes up. Or we could get price taking liquidity, then retracing, and then going up by the closure of the next 6-month candle, which is going to be all the way in December. As you can see, there's plenty of time for either of those moves to happen. However, if I were a super duper rich bank and I was controlling the way the markets wanted to go, and I wanted to make the most money, I would take liquidity up here first because I need more orders. So I'm going to make everybody believe that I'm bullish, and then I'm going to pull back like that. So that's what I assume will happen. So I'm just going to go back to 1 month real quick. So on Sunday, the market opens. I don't know if that's gonna, on Sunday, this candle will close or if it'll close on Monday. I would assume on Monday. So that would be crazy if on Sunday's open, we just got like a crazy impulsive move to the upside up there, something like that. You know, that would be really interesting. Okay, so just like we say on our Sunday opens, how I usually say, you know, price is going to like go below or above a tiny bit and then go in the opposite direction and then make its weekly direction. It's the same thing for the 6th month candle, excuse me. It's going to have like the same movement. So if the 6th month candle is going to be bullish, then we know it's going to retrace first, right? But before that happens, its opening price is likely to be swept as well. So like if this is our opening price for that new 6-month candle, we want to see price sweep its own open, right? Oops, that wasn't good. So price opens here, right? So we want to like kind of see it like sweep its own open. Like this. And then it does its opposite power of 3 move, right? Coming down here to make its bottom wick. I don't know, maybe this is like September or something like that. And then it starts expanding. Okay. So it would make sense for this to happen first if we're going to get that retracement and then expansion. So breaking that 6-month bias down into a weekly bias. Obviously, if that was to happen first, then we would continue this bullish trend, right, to make that happen. So I'm kind of biased for price to just keep pushing towards this level here. Let's see, let's get this real quick. Monthly candle. All right. So I think I see two things happening this week. I see price holding this structure, right? And continuing up to this high. I could see this happening, sweeping, maybe bouncing in here somewhere. And then continuing up to the high. Because technically speaking, this right here, the second attempt at this resistance level never broke this structure. So technically this is the swing low of this current uptrend. And I marked these relative equal highs here because it's pretty obvious when you have something that looks like that, that's going to be a level that's going to get taken for manipulation. Okay. So that being said, this bullish price leg has yet to be retraced. It looks like it's starting to do that, but I bet you that these are going to get swept first and price will come in here and retrace to keep going higher. I definitely do think it's possible for price to come lower. And the reason for that would be to retrace that bullish monthly candle that currently I have my Fibonacci levels on. So let's kind of make another. So that would be our bullish scenario, is what it looks like to me. Oh, this was made back in April, which is technically okay. So I like that even better. Perfect. Okay, I like this a lot more now. Okay, so how I was saying that like this weekly high will get taken out because it has equal relative highs here before it retraces. I can see that also happening with this, um, which gives us more confluence for price to come up and take these highs over here as one of the first objectives of the new monthly candle before it retraces, um, for the exact same reason. And so this is the 3-month candle that's closing tomorrow. This is going to be the high of that 3-month candle, right? And they're look at their relative equal highs again. Okay. Oopsie. So it's literally rinse and repeat, guys. So it's the same thing. And there's a daily imbalance here that has yet to be filled. So that gives me more confluence for price to come up and be seeking this level rather than retracing first, because of the same reason. If price is going to go in a certain direction, they're going to try to take as many orders with them as they can. And so all those orders are sitting right here. The most amount of orders, if you will. Exact same reason why I said that this last week's high is going to get taken, right? Before retracing, or so I should anticipate, is because I'm literally thinking in my mind, if I wanted to make the most money and I was a huge bank, where would I go? Where are all the stop losses sitting? And they're all sitting up here because people are getting in the market for shorts, right? And their stop losses are up here. So price is going to come up and they're going to stop all those stop losses out. When they stop other people out of the market, then their orders become available for them to then take. So it's literally rinse and repeat with this high right here. So that just gives me confidence even more. Okay. So our option one would be, okay, so I'm just going to add. Okay. So I'm just going to add in here, basically Sunday. Okay. So that bullish week would look like this as we're talking here. Pretty much this one. So this is our current 1 hour range, right? I'll mark this right here for you. Okay. So this is our range, this low and this high that we're in. So price did sweep and then it came to retrace that last bullish leg that I just noted and then continued higher. This would be like the bullish week that I just described. Like I said earlier, this option could also happen where it actually retraces a lot deeper than just this current price leg right here. It actually retraces what was this, the 3-month? Was this a 3-month candle? Yeah, it was. Right. So like that's not that far away. The 50% is literally just right here. Before it actually pursues this high here. I would say our bearish week would look like this. So I could see price like breaking this structure. I think we could just leave it at this. So this would be like your Monday. This would be your Tuesday, Wednesday. And then price continues bearish for the remainder of the week. Or there's your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then we could get something like this. Or excuse me, sorry, Sunday, Monday, or this would be like your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it bounces here Thursday. So I could see that also happening, and that would create a bearish candle for the week. And then the next week we would make moves to this higher time frame objective. That's like, I don't know. I think I'm not saying it's impossible, but for it to like retrace the 3-month levels that soon is kind of like not likely to happen, in my opinion, but it definitely can happen. But because the elections are coming up this year, and it's just, I don't know, I think stuff's about to get very interesting. So I'm just gonna put in here. I think also the daily trend is also bullish. So like it, please, if you're looking to take sells, like just wait for confirmation. As always. So like you can see this daily trend is bullish still. So is this 4-hour trend still bullish, and it's going to look like that on the hourly as well. So this is, let's see, I'll just put this here. Dang, that's crazy. It's 12:41 and we're only on the dollar. That's hilarious. I feel like I always spend the most time on the dollar, but in my opinion, the dollar is very important to my analysis for what I actually trade on. All right, so let's move on to the NASDAQ. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to look at our big candles first, which they all look the same because they're all going to be basically bullish. Oh, there we go. There's a nice order block right there. Okay. All right, let's dip this. Let's see if we can't get any overlapping influences. Dang, that's crazy. Okay. So I just fibbed both the 2-month candle and the monthly candle right here that is about to close. And the 78% of this monthly candle is right smack dab on the 50% of the 2-month candles. So I'm just gonna mark that. I think that's pretty significant. That. Let's go to the weekly. The NASDAQ has been performing very well. I feel like it's going to continue to do so because of the companies that are in the lineup. But that being said, I would like to see a healthy retracement first. Will it get all the way down here? I have no idea. Probably not. I mean, maybe it did in April. Gave us a pretty good retracement, but for the most part, we just, when it's on a bull run, it just goes crazy, you know? So on the lower time frames, though, we are starting to get more confluences of it rejecting this order block right here, giving us this huge wick. And then it also gave us a bearish order block here on the daily time frame. So that being said, and then okay. All right, so just looking at the chart, obviously we've talked about these two order blocks so far. And everything's giving bearish signals. Clearly, price came up here last week and took all this liquidity, even these highs here. Okay, filling this imbalance right here. And then it started to sell off, breaking structure to the downside. Okay, so there's our break of structure right there. Change of character. Right. So yeah, the last thing that price took was buy side liquidity. So as we know, I mean, I guess you could consider this sell side right here. But I'm talking about like a macro level. So to me, price looks like it needs to be seeking sell side liquidity next. And structure is also telling us that price wants to go lower. Okay. So the closest levels of sell side liquidity, we have relative equal lows here. Right. This is always, any type of low is definitely always going to be, liquidity. So we'll put that down there. Okay. So the last thing that we need to focus on is, I'm not even going to fit the weekly candle, I'm going to fit this here. This price leg right here, the broke structure, we want to fit this. Okay. And we can say, in order to continue lower, we want to see price come into here. So I just went to the 8-hour time frame. So that makes sense because here's an order block right here, and price could open and come up into that order block, also mitigating these Fibonacci levels on that price leg that broke structure, meaning that it's a healthy level of retracement. So as of right now, I see like Sunday, maybe like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and sell off. Oopsie. Dang, that would be, I didn't even actually try to sweep this level right here, but that would make perfect sense. It really would. So yeah, so Sunday, this is like your Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we go lower, seeking the next level of liquidity. I could see that happening. That would be a bearish week. I could see price immediately pushing up into these levels and then immediately selling off, making this our Tuesday, Wednesday in here somewhere, either at this level or this level. We'll just put it in the middle, and then price pushes higher. See that happening. That would be a bullish week. It doesn't have to make a new high to be bullish. It just needs to be higher than Sunday's open. Okay. But we'll just put the arrow right there for reference. Okay, so let me look at our dollar real quick again. What did we say? We said a sweep here and then continued higher. Yeah. So this one would literally be the opposite of the dollar analysis that I'm like really anticipating, which is going to be the dollar bearish. Wait, I mean bullish, excuse me. So just like how the dollar was going to sweep those relative equal highs of last week, they would be sweeping this low of last week, and then they'd be doing the opposite thing as they usually do. Was that last week's low? What was last week's? Um, so just keeping our 2-month objective in mind. Hmm. Yeah, let's keep it right here for now. And we'll have to see what happens. It's always kind of hard to predict when you're like at the beginning of like a new candle. Um, but that's why you can always wait for price action. You wait for it to give you data. You wait for it to give you, you know, you wait for it to show its cards, basically speaking. Um, okay, I think that's it on NASDAQ. Oh, I called that a daily. I called that a daily. It's 8 hour. I love me some 8 hour order blocks. Okay. So I think that's good enough. We do have this lower time frame level here. Because this order block's already mitigated. So yeah, that looks good to me. I always forget what this is called. MYM. MYM1. All right, so first things first, let's go look at our big candles. And also have a bullish order block continuing here. Um, so we definitely had a break. The price is just like rejecting, moving to the upside here. So it came into the significant levels order selling, and it rejected again, breaking structure, and then giving us a low and then a lower low here. Although some people could consider this a liquidity sweep, but it just looks to me like price wants to continue lower. Let's see what that is. We also have an 8-hour bearish order block. So we're just going to do the same thing here. You can fib that, look at your significant levels. So this could be interpreted as a liquidity sweep to go to the upside. So, but we'll talk about that as our second option because I still see this as slightly bearish. So same thing as NAS. We get open lower, right? And then up into the 8-hour order block, and then we go down for the rest of the week. So our week would end bearishly. We didn't sweep these levels all the way up here. Okay. We could definitely get something maybe like sweeping last week's high and then a move down. Because if you kind of just look at Dow's structure, it's like it literally goes all the way up and then all the way down and all the way up, like literally. It's really sweepy. Okay, so price is really close already to, this is the Fibonacci on that 2-month order block. Price is already really close to the 50%, as you can see here, so it shouldn't be that hard for it to reach the 50%. So that can definitely be used as a bearish objective for us. We also have these relative equal lows right here that price can sweep on the way. If we look deeper into those fib levels, we have relative equal lows here, here, and then of course we have these all the way at the bottom. Okay. But for right now, we'll just focus on the 50%. Um, so if we were to get a bullish week, because it's so soon for price to be retracing that level already, which I definitely know it's going to take longer than that. I could see something happening like this, like pushing into that 8-hour order block and then coming down into this liquidity. And then we're going to make a grab for this high right here, or maybe even just this one. Or maybe even some sort of liquidity that gets created in here. But it wants to go higher, right? And then later on, in like a week, maybe a couple weeks, I don't know, we get like taken up here, and then price wants to come down just so it can take this higher time frame liquidity up here. But that would be what a bullish week would look like. So yeah. Yeah, that does it for our analysis though. Please be careful for next week because it is 4th of July. So be careful with that. It is news heavy as well. But other than that, I think that's it. Rob, do you have any questions or anything? Are you okay? Okay, all right then. Thank you everybody for joining us this week. Go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever. Help share the word for this YouTube channel. You're definitely more than welcome to come into Regnum Exchange Discord group. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next week.